Hello YouTube, this is Insane Monster with the next part of What If Asta Had Dark Matter. Now before we start, watch this.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? This is just for us now.
Now then, as for you who know what that is, link in the description down below. As for those who don't, that was Beautiful Halo that sells anime, comic book, and all other types of merch. Now then, let's get back to the what if. When we last left off, Asta defeated the Chain Mage and did his training for the exam, where now he has to go to the capital with Yuno. And on the way, Yuno does ask about his power, quote-unquote, magic, and asks some things about it. Asta just describes it as something that takes on qualities that of whatever he can think of it to have. With mentioning that, you could, if that's true, then couldn't you just make it have qualities that can cancel out other people's magic? With Asta just thinking and saying, yeah, probably. Just kind of nonchalantly, with, thinking, did you really not think of that before? As they get to the Magic Night exam, things go pretty similar, where they get registered and Asta is swarmed by birds, including Nero sitting on top of his head. We even get to where he bumps into Yami accidentally and ends up with Yami gripping his head, telling him that he's gonna kill him. But this time, Asta uses his dark matter to pry Yami's hand off of his head, with Yami being surprised, because he can sense this kid has no magic, but he's still doing something like this. Which is then when the Magic Night exam is announced to be about to begin. So Yami didn't have time to question him about it. So he figured that this Magic Night exam might be pretty interesting. As he goes with the beginning of the exam, Asta still gets a broom from Captain Vengeance, like everybody else, saying that this is going to be the flying portion of the exam. Obviously, Asta just tosses it aside, with multiple of the Magic Knights, as well as the people like the nobles and royals and such that are also taking the exam, thinking, is he just giving up before even trying? Really? Though surprising everybody when he sprouts wings from his back and begins to fly with them. But some of the people there thinking that with those wings he seems kind of like an angel. Though, as for the other parts of the exam, for the creation portion, he just uses dark matter to create a copy of his anti-magic sword, which is completely white in this one. Next, he uses his dark matter to create a small spear, and controls it to not just smash one target, but multiple targets. And with that, he does do well on all of the one-on-one combat portions of the exam, which leads us to the actual combat portion, where in this one he still goes up against Seke, and Seke does still create his Seke magma cannon ball, the fence and such, Asta flares up his wings and pulls out his anti-magic sword. As Seke prepares his attack, Asta remembers what Yuno said about his power when they were on their way here. So he covers himself with his wings, and Seke said, "You really think those wings will be able to defend you?" As he fires multiple cannonballs at him, some of them hitting the ground near and just blowing up some dust to cover the view. Once it begins to get a little clearer, people are seeing a glowing effect. Asta was producing enough heat on the outside of his wings to utterly melt Seke's bronze magic, as well as for the inner part being chilled to where he wouldn't be affected from the extreme heat. Seke is just stunned by this, saying, "What the hell is this?" As Asta opens up his wings and just soars right up to Seke, slamming his anti-magic sword clear through his defenses and slams him into the ground, breaking it. And with Yuno just doing the same as in canon, we get to the selection portion where Yuno still goes to the Golden Dawn. As for Asta, he gets picked for 3 squads: the Aqua Deers, the Praying Mantises, and the Black Bulls. Asta doesn't know much about the Magic Knights to begin with, so he just kind of goes with the Black Bulls, not knowing much, thinking that being a bull sounds better than being a praying mantis or being a deer. With Real saying, "Oh man, I thought he'd be pretty cool to have in my squad." And Jack figuring that since he's not in the squad, he won't get pestered about pushing around his subordinates. So he might still be able to challenge Asta for a little fight to have some fun. Next, we get to where Asta is brought to the Black Bull's hideout. Once he walks in and sees this craziness that they are doing, one of the Magnus fireballs from him trying to hit Luck flies straight towards him. He uses a barrier made out of dark matter to completely block it. So, after a little bit, and we have Yami smashing in one of the walls, telling everybody to calm down. Asta is introduced to everybody, and Magna begins their baptism. Though before, Yami stopped Asta and telling him to not use that odd white stuff that he makes. Noticing that the wings, as well as the other things he did with it, are comprised of the same thing, telling him to only use his grimoire, since the swords don't really match up with his wings. So he knows something's odd is up and wants to see what he can do with that sword. Asta just kind of agrees with it since he's his captain now, and things go similar to as in canon. Once Magna throws his fireball, instinctually Asta repels it, sending it back to Magna with the flat of his sword. Which Magna's excited to have someone like that in their squad, and is now being receiving his Black Bull's robe from Vanessa, along with getting his headband a little Black Bull marking on it. Which then, while they're enjoying themselves celebrating their new member's introduction, we see a girl up on the upper levels of the Black Bull's hideout with silver hair looking down, giving after everybody was happy to have Asta on board now, Magna introduced him to his new room, which he was just excited to have his own room finally, and started cleaning it, with Nero just taking a nap near the windowsill. After that, when Asta wakes up, finding a pillar in front of his door, then Magna tells him about the fact that the Black Bull's hideout more or less shifts around in its organ, and the order of places one day would be different the next day. Next day, he started with the tour to all the other places, which didn't really change much. And once meeting Noelle, actually pretty much went the same as in canon, where she tried to fire a water attack at Asta, but it veered away from him, hitting Magna, and with her saying that she's quitting the Black Bulls. Next, we get to the part where Asta gets his chores done pretty quickly. For instance, blowing out the, all of the dust in the library by opening up the windows and using his wings, flapping his wings to blow all the dust out. Using his dark matter to take the laundry and use that to wash it with, taking full advantage, as well as using his dark matter in sort of a liquid looking state to help clean the hallways and such. Later on, we get to where Asta's just walking around. Hearing something, he follows the noise, seeing Noelle practice. Once, though, like in canon, Noelle notices him, and when she goes to attack him, she loses control of her magic. Asta hurries up and sprouts his wings to fly away, with all the Black Bulls entering out of their hideout trying to figure out what to do. After Asta flies over to the squad when he sees them from the air, Magna's asking what hell happened, with Asta just saying that Noelle tried to attack and then this happened. With Yami looking at it, he tells Asta to hurry up and use that sword of his to cut it, to get rid of that thing. Asta did what he was told and soared right to it. Pulling out his sword, he sliced the giant water spear in half, then created a dark matter, basically a huge dark matter basket to catch her in. As he flies down, he hurries and drops her gently, with Noelle expecting to be berated, but is then met with a hand extending to her, saying that she's incredible and that power she has is insane, with her not expecting that. As the other Black Bulls mention that she belongs here, and Vanessa offering to help her out in controlling her magic and such. Then we get uh, to where Asta and Noelle are just eating at the Black Bull's hideout while they explain to them the things that the Magic Knights do, basically escort missions, extermination missions, guard detail, and the like. And this is where Yami and Magna leave, and then promptly lose all of their clothing and money to the chief of Sashi village. When they return, Asta and Noelle are feeding the magic beast, though this time Asta's covering himself in more or less dark matter armor, saying, "You are not going to eat me." As they try to bite him, he uses his dark matter to open up their jaws and get them out of their mouth. But then Yami and Magna walk in au naturel, freaking Noelle out, saying that they got a mission for them, where they explain that they're going boar hunting. Osa's just decided to have a mission, while Noelle is meh about it, not very interested. Even less so when Magna introduces his crazy cyclone, and with Asa stating that he doesn't really need to use a broom as he pops out his wings. And Magna saying, "Oh yeah, I guess if you can pop out your own, I guess, 3 sets of wings, you don't really need to use a broom, do you?" With Noelle asking if that she'd rather ask Asta to make more or less the similar basket that he used to catch her before, because she really doesn't want to be seen on that broom. With Magna saying, "Hey, don't you dare insult my crazy cyclone!" So this time Magna doesn't burn as much mana as in canon to get there, where he's flying on his own on the crazy cyclone, though a little annoyed that the Little Miss Royal more or less and full on insulted his ride, while Asta soaring and carrying Noelle in the basket. Once they get there, Asta uses his sword to strike the boars, killing them while he uses his dark matter to restrain them. With Magnus stating that magic doesn't really make any sense. I mean, your sword is practically black, practically pitch black, like, or whatever kind of thing you want to call it, while those wings and that weird stuff that just takes whatever shape you want is pure white. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Asta just scratches his head and says, "Well, I mean, does it have to? As long as it gets the job done, right?" And just kind of looks at him saying, "Yeah, you're probably right." As they hurry and stack up the boars, bringing them to the village, where they see that the whole village is covered in a weird fog. Magna tells Asta to hurry up and cut it with his sword, which he does do, and when they get there, they see that they are seeing a large amount of ice swords hovering over all of the villagers. At this moment, Magna hurries up and uses a fireball scatter shot to destroy them, with the chief of Sashi village lying there in dying, with Magna furious standing in between them, the villagers, and the attacking mages. Asta kneels down, thinking, "Okay, my magic can do basically whatever qualities I want it to have, right?" So he produces some dark matter, placing it on the chief of Sashi Village's wounds, thinking, "Rapidly heal him, close up the wounds, and heal him." It does do it, though now the chief is somewhat passed out from exhaustion. With Magnus saying, "What did you do?" Asa just looks at him saying, I'm pretty sure I healed him," as he hurries and stands with Magna, which the head mage with the pocket watch attacking them, then starts to say why they're here and what they're going to do. Kill all of them because they're beasts that need to be culled. It does piss them off. Asta flares up his wings, using the magic sword to cut through their ice magic that they're relentlessly blasting at them, while also using his wings to defend himself, trying to use any dark matter that he can also muster up to defend the villagers from other ice swords. Like in canon, Noelle still produces her she dragon's lair to protect the villagers, with Asta bursting through with his wings. When the mage goes to attack with that icicle now, it's blocked and melted away from dark matter on Asta's gut. With dark matter beginning to encase Asta, he decides to put away his wings, and his dark matter forms armor that is producing enough heat to melt all of their ice. He goes right for the mage, striking them with his sword, but finding out that it's just some kind of magic copy, being blasted more and more with ice swords, but having little to no effect since they're just being melted, turning into steam. He does get a little disoriented from all the steam making it harder for him to see. So he then flares up his wings to blow away the steam with a single flap of them, showing that the, the mages that are attacking are in between Asta and Magna, which Magna hurries up and fires a scatter shot. They block it, Magna's attack, while some shots went right past them, giving Asta a chance to smack them with the flat of his blade, sending them directly back at them. One of them did end up escaping, and Magna used his magic to bind them, sealing away their magic. Asta used some of his dark matter to help restrain them as well, without extinguishing Magna's magic. Once they propped them up, and the chief got enough rest to stand up properly, they were looking at the intruding mages, asking why they're there, with Magna stating that they're going to be brought to the capital for all sorts of questioning to figure out what they're up to. Obviously, the mage that was leading the group just destroys them, all three of them, using a magic item that was implanted into their body, into his body. They're frustrated that they didn't get any answers about who they are or what they were doing there. So they figured that as long as the village is safe, that it's good for now. Which is when Nero flies in, poking Asa on the head with the magic stone, swiping at Nero, telling the bird to give that back to the chief. So the chief just kind of laughs and says that you can take it as a reward for helping save our village. Exterminating the boars was something that I had you guys do for your captain and this idiot for losing the card game. So the magic stone you can consider a reward for helping save our village. So Asta gets the magic stone. After that, they go back to the hideout and give a report. Once they After that, they do end up getting a gold star from the Wizard King, as well as their pay, which Asta is excited for how much he's getting. Well, Noel's just saying, it isn't that much. But Asta saying, well, of course it isn't to you, you're royalty. Where Vanessa then mentions that they should go to the black market. After that, they hurry up and head to the black market, where Noelle still gets that wand of hers to help focus her magic. And Asta's not sure what to get, because he's not sure what the wings and the white stuff that are produced that he thinks is magic, what he should get that could possibly help him. So he's more or less just looking. But then we see Seke, who's extremely jealous of Asta for being on the squad with Noelle and Vanessa. But then the old lady that cleaned out Magna of his pay gets her bag stolen again by the cloud thief. Asta flares his wings and just soars right through the crowd with the cloud mage hurrying up trying to book it. As people see Asta fly by, they're thinking, what the hell? An angel in the black market? What the hell's going on here? As he gets out of the black market, chasing the mage, he throws his sword, destroying his cloud, and then using his dark matter to capture him. He can't really move or do anything, and while he's like that, Asta uses his dark matter to check for any weapons and such, finding a poisoned dagger and getting rid of it. But then Seke rolls in saying, "Oh man, I was too late." With Asta seeing this, he just said, you can have him if you want him, giving him the Seke as Seke rolls out with the thief tied up, and Asta returns the old woman's money. As they're leaving, the old woman is revealed to be the Wizard King, who just looks saying, the ability to destroy magic, anti-magic. Also, the substance that those wings are made of, I can't recognize it at all. Is it really something that exists in this world? I wonder. As he's then interrupted by his subordinate yelling at him to hurry up and get back to work. This is where we'll be ending it for this part of the What If. I do hope you enjoyed. Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment, and hope you enjoyed yourself. See you later.